Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin iti namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshathanine Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripasindubhya evacha Patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Hey Krishna Karana Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, yeah, we're continuing in the year 2021, and this is the month of January, otherwise known as Magh. It would be probably around the time of Magh Mela in India, at the confluence of the Ganga and Yamuna and Saraswati. So we might want to make a very quick mental pilgrimage, Tirtha Yatra, to the Sangam of Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati. And as they say in India, take a holy dip, and come out refreshed and ready for our song with Bhaktivinoda Thakur, continuing the Bhakti-pratikula-bhava Varjanangikara, song number 4. It's a striking song, which we can read the translation of first. I sometimes do, sometimes forget to. Bhaktivinoda Thakur sings, I am a resident of Swananda-sukhada-kunja and a maidservant of the lotus feet of Radhika and Madhava. At the union of the divine couple, I rejoice, and in their separation, I die in anguish. I never look at the place where Candravali and her friends stay. When I see such a place, it reminds me of Candravali's gopi friend śaibyāke. I feel pain in my heart when I catch sight of Candravali's girlfriends, for they are opposed to Radha. Candravali wants to take away Radha's Lord Heri, thus covering the grove of Radhika with the darkness of gloom. I never look at the faces of those who are opposed to Sri Radha and Govinda's joyous union. nor do I find any pleasure in conversing with those who are opposed to Radha. Bhaktivinoda has enthusiastically entrusted his soul to the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani. So this is high level Bhakti-pratikula, we may say. Okay. Excuse me, I'll be back in just a few seconds to close the door. Microphone. This is going to be in ektal, as they say, or sometimes they say dutal. In any case, we would say triple beat in English, or 3/4 meter. Amito Swananda-sukhada-bāsī rādhikā-mādhava-caran a-dāsī Amito Swananda-sukhada-bāsī rādhikā-mādhava-caran a-dāsī duńhāra milane ānanda kori duńhāra viyoge khete mari duńhāra milane ānanda kori duńhāra viyoge khete mari sakhī-sthalī nāhi heri nayane dekhile śaibyāke paraye manye sakhī-sthalī nāhi heri nayane dekhile śaibyāke paraye mane pratikula-chandra sakhī prane dukkha bhai tahare dekhi pratikula-chandra sakhī prane dukkha bhai tahare dekhi rādhikā-kunja andala kori loite chahe se radhara-hari Radhika-kunja andala kori loite chahe se radhara-hari Shri Radha Govinda milana shuga pratikula-jana nāhi mukha Shri Radha Govinda milana sukha pratikula jana nāhi mukha radha pratikula jate kaja sambhasane kabu nāhi ma radha pratikula jate kaja sambhasane kabu nāhi ma Vakati Vinoda Sri Radha Charane Sampetse Parana Ati Vajatane Vakati Vinoda Sri Radha Charane Sampetse Parana Ati Vajatane Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna
Теперь слышно. Да, теперь да.
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Haribo 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 Go Haribo Nitai Go Haribo 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 Amito Swananda-sukhada-bāsī. I am indeed a resident of Swananda-sukhada-kunja. This is referring to Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's home that he built just across the Jalangi River from Mayapur in Godrumadvip. And so he's declaring himself a resident of a place, a holy place, perhaps intending to say this is not a place appropriate for Candravali. In any case, Radhikā-mādhava-caran a-dāsī. It's interesting, he identifies himself not as a dasa, but as a a-dāsī in this song. At the union of the divine couple, I rejoice. Duńhāra milane. Milane means meeting, meeting of the two. Ānanda kori, it makes me very joyful. Duńhāra viyoge, there's viyoga, the opposite of yoga, the separation of these two. Dukkete mati, it makes me die in anguish. I never look at the place where Candravali and her friends stay. Sakhī-sthalī, nāhi, heri, nayane. Sakhī-sthalī apparently refers to the place of Candravali. Heri means seeing, heriya. Nayane, in the eyes. Dekhile, if I would see, then śaibyāke paraye mane. It reminds me, mane, in the mind, of Candravali's friend Śaibya, which apparently he doesn't want to remember, and yet there's a bit of a paradox here because he is remembering her in this song. I feel pain in my heart when I catch sight of Candravali's girlfriends. Pratikula-bhava sakhī. Prane dukkha. It brings dukkha in my life. Prana tahare dekhile. Seeing them makes me so disturbed. Radhikā-kunja andhar koriya loite chahe se radhar heri. Candravali wants to take away Radha's Lord Hari. Thus covering the grove of Radhika with the darkness of gloom. Andar kori. Andar is darkness, koriya, covering. So covering Radhika's kunja, loite chahe, desiring to take Radha's Hari, taking the Lord from Radha, who belongs to Radha. Radhara is possessive form of Radha, Radhar Hari. Shri Radha Govinda milana sukha pratikula na heri mukha. I never look at the faces of those who are opposed to opposed to Shri Radha and Govinda's joyous union. So the sukha, the joy of the meeting, milana, of Shri Radha Govinda, excuse me, pratikula, persons who are against that their union, na heri mukha, I don't look in their face. I don't see their face. I avoid their face. Nor, number 7, do I find any pleasure in conversing with those who are opposed to Radha. Radha pratikul jyotika jana sambhashane. Sambhashana, in the discussion, sambhashana. Jyotik, I think, means anyone. Speaking against Radha, kabuna hoy mon. I don't have any regard for them. And then finally, Bhaktivinoda, Shri Radha Charane, at the feet of Shri Radha, sampeche, paran ativa jatane, enthusiastically entrusts, this must be the word, sampeche, his soul, parana, which is stretched out, prana, his life, ativa jatane. Jatane, I think, is effort in with enthusiasm. So sampeche may mean entrusting. I think we don't have Sugopi with us today to tell us the Bengali. Any other Bengali experts with us today? Okay. So it's interesting. As I've mentioned, I think at least once before, there is this pattern in Bhaktivinoda Thakur's Saranagati that he starts each section with sort of the more external aspect, the more external mood, and he moves toward the more internal. And so in this song, we have the most internal. My guess is this is the last song of this section, which would make it something like the last song of Saranagati. But then again, if I remember correctly, there should be a series of several songs, like 13 songs after this, glorifying the holy name. In which case, if we come to those, we can say it's the end of Saranagati, but actually it's the beginning. It's taking Saranagati as preparation for properly chanting the holy name. So I suppose if we did everything properly, we would be chanting the entire Saranagati before chanting our rounds. That might take a bit long. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki jai. Hare Krishna. Okay, so we have our translating going on. Okay, I see Daitiesha with the beautiful Espanol, Castellano, and Kavichandra maybe there somewhere with Polish. And what else? Russian. Soumya Karani, are you translating Russian? Wow, okay. Very nice.
Yes, she's translating. So Daitiesha Prabhu, Kavichandra Prabhu, and Mataji Soumya Karani, they are translating into Spanish, Polish, and Russian.
Very good. Okay, so should I hand things over to you, Dharma Gupta, or to you, Dira Lalita?
I think Dira Lalita Mataji, she's in charge for Vyasa Puja offerings, so she's the person for.
Okay. All right.
But today we have 4 devotees for presenting their Vyasa Puja offerings, and that's Chitra Karuni first, and Bhakti Alex, then Bhakti Claudia, and myself at the end.
She is, yes.
Oh, good.
Hare Krishna, thank you, dear Lalita Mataji. So we continue with the Vyasa Puja offerings now. Okay. Dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my respectful obeisances. Jai Srila Prabhupada, Hare Krishna. Dear Guru Maharaj, I see you like a lighthouse by the sea on the cliff, and I see myself like a very tiny little sailing boat, so fragile. I can always see your light, you're always there, and you don't move. Sometimes it's windy, Sometimes big waves and storm, rain, even thunders. But sometimes water is calm. But after every day, there comes the night, and I can see your light. And I know which direction to look at, even in the complete dark. This little light, but it saves a life. So this is exactly what you are for the lost souls. And I want to be with you till the end of this road. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Short and to the point. Okay.
Now there's Bhakti Alex. She said she would like to read something. And she couldn't do it last week.
Yeah.
Is she here?
Yeah, she's here. Hello.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes.
Oh, that's great.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. My humble obeisances to you, Guru Maharaj, on
Hare Krishna.
this Yasa Puja. And I'm honored to be in the presence of all my god siblings here, even though I'm very new and also very embarrassed. Because last week I heard you say many times, where is Bhakti Alex? Is Bhakti Alex here? Is Bhakti Alex? Where is Bhakti Alex? It was a bit like, where is Wally? Bhakti Alex is missing. So Bhakti Alex apologizes because I was doing my day job, which is teaching yoga.
Yes.
And somebody was unfortunately not very well, so I was taking their place. So I'm sorry for you all searching for me.
You're forgiven.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So I know a lot of people were very happy to see 2020 go and to vanish, and for 2021 to arrive. But personally, for me, 2020 was a very auspicious year because I asked to take shelter with you, Guru Maharaj, and you kindly said yes, which I am most grateful for. And I offer all my humble thanks and prayers for that. And I also think that every day that we have, even if the year is not fantastic, every day of this life that we have is very precious. So it's a shame to say that it was a bad year, because there are always good things as well. And I'm sure there are good things to come in 2021. So I am still just a baby in Krishna consciousness, very much. It will only be 4 years in the summer since I became involved. And I'm here in Radhadesh at the moment, actually. So this is nice, which is where I met you. So I take little steps every day, but I am growing. The devotees at Radhadesh, they don't correct me quite as much anymore. So they don't move me around the temple or point me in the right direction, which either means that I'm doing things right or that they've totally given up on me. I don't know. But I'm hoping it's the first one. So I am learning. I believe that I still have a lot of other things to learn. And this year I completed my training with the college in my communications course, in my Bhakti Yoga course, and my ISKCON Disciples course. So I've been studying. And with the help of all my brothers and sisters here, during the month of Kartik, I was able to get up to chanting my 16 rounds a day, which was a great achievement. And I couldn't have done it without all your kind words. And it was so nice to be part of the group when we were messaging each other. So thank you so much for that. It is a great thanks. So my service to you, Guru Maharaj, is just beginning. And as you always very kindly tell me that it's a marathon, not a sprint. I am not the most patient of people, so I have to learn this. This is important. So I will take my time. And I hope and I know with you to guide me, I am in good hands and I am in the right direction. I look forward to being the road ahead and to being of service to you and all my sisters and brothers, and to following the teachings of Srila Prabhupada, and following the mercy of Sri Krishna. So I was going to do something. I'm not going to do a play, don't worry. I'm going to do some yoga. So I thought you could all join me. Oh. But this is very light-hearted, so please don't take it too seriously. I don't want you to get your yoga mats out and start to do Chaturanga Dandasana or Adho Mukha Svanasana or any of these poses. So we will do some face yoga, which is very good for our faces. So we have to use our faces for this. Oh. So the beauty of this asana is that you can do it anywhere. You can do it at home, you can do it at work, you can do it on Zoom with your friends, and you can do it with or without wearing a mask. So it's also very COVID friendly. So this is a good thing. Okay. So we will start with this very fun, and you have to join me because otherwise it's not so much fun. Otherwise you're just staring at me and thinking, what is she doing? So we start with this very important asana for your face. And this one will smooth your wrinkled brow. So if you think you have wrinkles on your brow, this will smooth it. And it's called, yes, we will. So it will smooth your wrinkled brow and make you look perfect. So this one is called Surprise Me. And it's very difficult to do, but I will try my best. So you try and relax your face. Then you widen your eyes really, really wide. Really, really wide without wrinkling your brow. And then you focus your drishti, or your point of concentration, just in front of you. And you open your mouth like so. So this is Surprise Me. Excellent. Very good. And if you can do that 3 times a day, then you will never have any wrinkles on your brow ever again. Sure. Yes, this is so. And the next one will keep your lips very soft and strong. So it's very good for your chanting as well. And this one is called the milane. So it's very, very easy to do. You take your left hand and you put it under your chin. You purse your lips and you go, and you blow kisses. So that's called the milane, as in Marilyn Monroe. So a very important face asana for us to learn. And now the 2 last ones that I teach you, this is just some fun. I'm not a hugely serious person sometimes, especially when it comes to teaching yoga. So this one will stretch your facial muscles and it will also release tension in your face. Because when we're very stressed, we have a lot of tension in our necks and it all goes into our jaw particularly. So this will really relax that. So you inhale through your nose very deeply and you make a little fist and you squeeze up your face really tight. And then you stick out your tongue and you go, ah, or you can growl like a lion. And this one is called lion face. And all my students like this one very much. We do it at the end of class. And my last very humble offering is one that you can do every day, which is very good for you, which is push-ups. And these are very easy push-ups to do. So you just take your little index fingers, you put them by the side of your lips or your mouth, and then you look in the mirror and you do your push-ups. And you do that 10 times. So in the end, you have a lovely big smile and you will always be smiling, always. You will be thinking of Krishna and Guru Maharaj and you will be smiling forever. Wow. So thank you so much for my time of little fun. And thank you, Guru Maharaj, for being so patient and for just guiding me all this time. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. I must say, I think that was the first time that we've gotten a yoga lesson within a Vyasa Puja offering. And it's the first time I hear of face yoga.
Our next devotee is Bhakti Claudia from Slovenia.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. Thank you, dear Lalita. Hello, Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna to all devotees. May I say, Alex, I really liked your presentation. Okay. Guru Maharaj, I would thank you for giving me shelter and accept me into your spiritual family. I'm very grateful to have such a guru. You are very merciful, humble, intelligent, inspiring, and very patient spiritual father. In all these years in Bhakti Yoga, I always was saying to myself that I'm gonna find my spiritual guru in my holy place in India. When I was in Vrindavan, walking barefoot around the beloved Govardhan Hill, I felt in my heart very strong that I'm ready to go deeper with my relationship with Krishna. And you are my chosen guru for helping me to grow and go deeper. By the mercy of the Holy Dham, all doubts dispelled. I'm very grateful for your mercy and thank you. Thank you for my God brothers and sisters for accepting me and helping me in the spiritual family. I already learned a lot from you and I'm still learning. Guru Maharaj, please accept my sincere wishes to you to be healthy and to have a lot of inspiration to write books that I can distribute them to in my salon to all others. I'm really looking forward to. So please accept my obeisances to you. And I have just a small present to you. I have a picture that I started to paint 15 years ago, and I finished now for your birthday. I start to finish on appearance days of Lord Ram, and somehow another I didn't finish because it was meant to you, obviously. So it's like this. I hope it will see. I hope you see.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Ah, very
We
nice.
have Hanuman on fire with the tail. Lord Ram, Sita, Lakshmi.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
And you started 15 years ago to paint this painting?
Yeah, it was when I started to go practice with Bhakti Yoga, I find myself in two ways to connect with Krishna. That is listen to Leelas and to start painting on the appearance day of Krishna. That was my meditation then. And every painting that I do, like this one here, I did it on one day. And this, especially this one, I didn't finish it. Now this is the first one that I didn't finish. It's obvious because it's meant for you, Guru Maharaj.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman ki jai.
Jai.
Nice. Thank you, thank you. Okay.
Oh, dear Guru Maharaj, now it's my turn to
okay.
To try and read the offering to you. Please accept my humble obeisance into dust of your divine lotus feet, and all glories to Srila Prabhupada. I'm feeling extremely lucky that my path as a disciple crossed with your path as a spiritual master 30 years ago Please accept my attempt to present this Vyasa Puja offering to you. Your example of Lord Krishna's devotee and Srila Prabhupada's disciple is for me the proper one. You are an example of a great soul that understands the real meaning of life. Your exquisite talents for writing, singing, and preaching glories of Lord Krishna are helping so many people, like your disciples, academic world, and anyone who gets in touch with you. You bring holy scriptures to life, and that inspires many to read and study Shastra on a deeper level. On this Vyasa Puja occasion, I would like to thank you for being there for me and all of us, especially in these last 9 months, every Saturday, sharing your wisdom and understanding, especially of Bhaktivinoda's poetry, on a very deep level. Thank you very much. As you ask us to reflect on this past year, I wrote a couple of things. Visiting the Holy Dham Mayapur early this year gave me a few gem realizations that will help a lot in my future spiritual practice. Then the second is reaction to a world spread new virus created in me a fear at first, but then a realization then that I'm not in control at all, even though still trying to be. Many years ago, you suggested to me to take up gardening. That I have done now, and I'm very grateful for your guidance. I took your suggestion into my heart as very important personal instruction. And thank you for that. This year, I was learning a lot about the soil, just because of the carbon dioxide being more in the air than in the soil. Even though I have a very small garden, I have learned how soil can capture 40% of carbon dioxide as the plants capture the rest of it. I'm planning to plant mostly fragrant flowers, climbers, and bushes that can be offered to Krishna all year round. Also, I'm still learning about growing different vegetable and fruit without using any chemical treatment but bio-green options. Gardening helped me to harness my dreamy nature and plan my time better on a daily basis. I've started reading twice a week with 2 groups of ladies. Now we're pausing it, but we'll continue after this total lockdown is over. As for the New Year's resolution, I was thinking to continue what I'm doing already, but try and improve the quality of my activities. In order not to forget my resolution, I wrote it in the 2021 calendar, which I'm now visiting on a daily basis. I find it helpful in refreshing my memory and promises to myself. We also started reading with Jaya Lakshman every day, Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, and Chaitanya Charitamrita, half an hour each. Each Shastra. I will try and make a conscious effort in deepening the quality of my service for the pleasure of yours, of Srila Prabhupada's Krishna and devotees. Now I would like to finish this offering to you with a beautiful sentence that I've heard a few days ago from one devotee singer. And she said, "How amazing is that the soul can see much more and beyond than the eyes given to us." Your servant, dear Lalita.
Thank you. Can you repeat that again? How much more the soul can see beyond the limits of the eye?
How amazing it is that the soul can see much more and beyond than the eyes given to us.
Ah, okay.
As she was referring to how Krishna reveals himself to us through the soul.
Yeah. Nice, nice.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
The eyes of the soul.
The eyes of the soul, yeah.
Very nice. Thank you all so much. So, okay. I was telling some devotees I'm gradually getting over the sort of overdose of praise that comes around somehow this time of year. But of course, it's also an opportunity for me to exercise the practice of humility and to recognize that whatever qualities, whatever praise is there is meant for passing on. We are passing it on, passing it up, passing forward to our spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, and in this way up to Krishna, and recognizing where everything comes from, that whatever it is we have, whatever we can do is coming from Krishna, and Krishna gives, Krishna can also take away. Sooner or later, he will take away this body. But of course, the service we do, Krishna never forgets. And so it's an opportunity also for me to feel that I can be something like an instrument in facilitating, encouraging all of your service. And in this way, the service, in this way, the spiritual world expands, because every time we do something in Krishna's service, with even a little bit of a sense that let me do this for Krishna and for his devotees, that is, it's registered, we can say, and it's an expansion. The spiritual world is always expanding, and this is, we can say this is how it expands. It expands by our service to Krishna. And of course, Lord Chaitanya especially shows us how to do this in this special time by chanting Krishna's names, receiving Krishna's names. Chanting is going outward, but actually we are opening ourselves for Krishna's names. And in this way, opening ourselves for Krishna. Maybe before our surprise guest comes, we were just starting last time to speak about the Sagara Mantana Lila, and I would continue with that, except that our time is quite short before our guest. Let's see. Anyway, just to say, maybe give my own little report of things that I'm up to. The last week, I've been busy with speaking about the pastimes of the 8th canto, the Sagara Mantana Lila of the churning of the milk ocean, with the devotees of the Bhaktivedanta course in Mayapur Institute. It's a nice group of around 20 devotees. We churned the subject in interesting ways, I would say. And well, I'll get back to this, but I want to give a little promotion for online Shastra courses. Yes, I think we'll talk about that with our guest. And what else I'm doing, I continue to participate with what's called the Revisions Review Panel of the BBT. This is a group of 7 of us. We've been appointed by the BBT to look very closely at the revisions that have been done and are planned to be done, the editing of Srila Prabhupada's books, because there's been a lot of criticism for the editing, a lot of controversy. So this has been going on. We've been meeting once every 2 weeks for 2 hours since last April, I think. And after lots of discussion about method, how we proceed, and we began working on the first canto because BBT wanted us to work on the Bhagavatam first, because they want to reprint the English Bhagavatam. But then some weeks ago, they came to us and said, actually, we want you to work on Bhagavad Gita because we want to reprint the Bhagavad Gita, a special edition for marking 50 years from the publication of Bhagavad Gita in 1972. So they want to have a special edition in 2022. And so, please, can you do your reviewing of Bhagavad Gita? Okay, so we started focusing on Bhagavad Gita, and but at the same time, we've been drafting a set of principles by which we determine what we consider is acceptable, what we consider needing to be perhaps reverted back to what it was before, like that. And that set of principles we've completed, and it's been in discussion now with the BBT trustees. And they just had a meeting yesterday, which I had to miss because of my teaching duty, but I'll be finding out what they said. And we've come, I think we're almost finished with our review of chapter 1 of Bhagavad Gita. Sometimes just one word or one sentence becomes a cause for a long discussion amongst us. The others in the group are His Holiness Keshava Bharati Goswami, His Holiness not Bhakti Vaibhava Swami, but Bhakti Vigyan Goswami, His Holiness Bhanu Swami, Radhika Raman Prabhu, Kalachandji Prabhu, who is a professor of English literature in America. He's the younger brother of Tamal Krishna Goswami. And we have Mother Krishna Rupa in Australia. She's a very, very experienced English editor. And who else? Myself. I think there's one other. So we're meeting and working on that. It's nice association. The work sometimes is challenging. And I've also been an associate member of the Shastra Advisory Council of the GBC. And this last Saturday, I gave a presentation, part of one of 8-part presentations. I only did part 6. Others are doing other parts of a course. This was a pilot attempt, first time teaching this course on ISKCON Vaishnava hermeneutics. Hermeneutics is the subject of interpretation. How do we interpret our shastras in ways which are fruitful for deeper understanding, for cooperation, and for preaching, for our mission. So I gave one of those presentations, and we are about to give a presentation to the GBC. I've also been asked to give part of that presentation. We have completed, I can't say I contributed very much to this, but we've written a paper on the chanting of Gayatri mantras and second or Brahman initiation, because some questions came up, some issues came up, a bit of controversy came up, some different opinions. So they assigned the Shastra Advisory Council to research. That's been going on for many months. And now there's a paper that we will present, which I think it's something like 200 pages long. I don't know, it's quite detailed. And if it's approved, then like all the papers of the Shastra Advisory Council, when they're approved and they become available, everyone can read them. They'll be available for download from the GBC website. And one more thing I'm doing is preparing to give a talk on Mahatma Gandhi next, I think it's this next Thursday, for a class in University of Pula. Of course, this will be online. And Braja Lilavati, our Braja Lilavati, who is professor of history there, is teaching a course on modern history and prejudice, the problem of prejudice. So she said the subject of Gandhi would be appropriate. And I've been doing a bit of reading on him. And we just saw again the film, the film Gandhi, which was produced in 1982. It's a quite, I have to say, well done film. And it's available, I think this is one film that we can say is, so to say, sattvic, although there is a good deal of violence in it, some quite disturbing scenes. But if you're ready for that, it's pretty much following history. You can find it on YouTube, the film Gandhi. It's about 3-hour long film. Well, is our mystery guest with us yet?
No, I can't see him now. Let me just check once again. The way down. No, I can't see him by his name. Maybe some other name. No, I can't see him yet.
Oh. Okay. Well, then we proceed. Let's see if anyone else wants to share anything, show and tell about what you're up to. Some point I was going to ask if Chitrakarni wants to say something about the film she's been working on. Would that be something you want to speak on? She's shaking her head. She doesn't want to think about this film right now. That's all right. Maybe when it's completely ready for public consumption. Anyway, there's a film in the works. It's been in the works for some time. It's gradually manifesting, and now we're getting very close to completion about the Bhagavatam. Okay. Anyone else? Something? No? Okay. So then, Kaveri's giving a gesture of typing. Chitrakarni says she can't unmute. Okay. You were able to before, but not now. Okay. Oh, Rajali Lavati is giving us the preview of the film. I don't know if this is, is this the Gandhi film? Okay, the Gandhi film, yeah. Good. So there it is. If you want to, I should say, if you have nothing better to do. But I think it's good education. It gives, something about the history of India's independence. It also gives a very nice kind of picture of a person in his mission, which was inspired, despite Srila Prabhupada saying that, criticizing his interpretation of the Bhagavad Gita, he was inspired by the Bhagavad Gita. And so that's interesting, significant. Host does not allow participants to unmute. I think the surprise guest managed to clean the snow from the antenna and connect it. Okay, so does that mean he's here? He's with us? That sounds a little tentative.
Yes, Maharaj. Our guest is here with us.
Okay, let's have a grand applause. Hare Krishna, where is he? I don't see him yet. Please manifest yourself.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
There you are. His Holiness Yadunandana Swami ki jai. Panchakalpatarubhyascha. Kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo. Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Hare Krishna. We started to get a little worried that you weren't going to appear, but now you're here.
Yes, I had some difficulty with the connection. And here the snow, there are like more than 0.5 meters of snow. I don't know if it has anything to do with the connection, but it was difficult.
0.5 meter of snow in the middle of Spain?
Yes.
Wow, okay.
I think it's the biggest snowfall in New Varjanangikara since ISKCON bought it in 1979.
Wow, okay. That's something. So I'd like to introduce you. His Holiness Yadunandana Swami is one of our pillars of the mission of Srila Prabhupada. in Spain, especially based now at New Vrajamandala. You have taken responsibility as the president there now since what, more than a year and a half, 2 years?
Well, since March 2017.
70 already?
Almost
Oh my
40.
God.
Time flies.
Oh my God. Okay. I was afraid you were going to say something like that because, you know, in my mind, it was like 6 or 8 months ago.
Yes, but it was fast. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. And Yadananda Swami is, for a long time, how many years were you the principal of Bhaktivedanta College?
12 years, from 2002 to 2014.
And you survived to tell the tale.
Yeah, I think I survived because I had a wonderful association of excellent devotees like you, Maharaj, and many devotees from the Oxford Center for Vaishnava and Hindu Studies, Shonaka Rishi Prabhu and Radhika Prabhu, Gopinath Acharya, Prabhu Anuradha, and others. I think that Sanga kept me, made me survive the time at the college.
Yeah.
Very happily.
And of course, Shri Radha Gopinath.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Also, Yadananda Swami is the author of, as far as I know, 3 books. And I think your most recent book is Narottam Shiksha, is that right?
Yes.
Narottam Shiksha, bathing in the pristine waters of Srila Narottam Das Thakur's teachings. That's the subtitle. I admit I have not seen it yet, except the front cover. Then there's a book which is a kind of journal of your own experience called Govardhan Journal. From your time, which year was this that you spent at Govardhan?
2013.
2013. For how long was it?
I was there for 1 month doing a retreat. And I decided to write a diary. Also, to be frank, I published together with this book, Vaishnava Sannyasis in Modernity.
Oh, at the same time.
Yes, and because the topic of the study on sannyas in ISKCON would be controversial, and I didn't know how it would be received. I thought, let me publish it together with Govardhan Journal.
I see.
I think it will be like kind of more balanced, a balanced presentation.
So if anyone calls you on the carpet, you can wave Govardhan Journal and say, no, it's not like this. Yeah, so I was just going to say, you're the 3rd book, or perhaps one of 2 simultaneous, is your book, Sanya. Let's see, the full title. I wanted to get, I have it here, 1 second. Oh, yes. The lives and challenges of Vaishnava sannyasis in modernity, a study of the renounced order in ISKCON, which is basically your master's thesis, which you wrote for the University of Wales, which at that time was in Lampeter. Am I right?
Yes, Maharaj.
So at the same time that you were the principal of Bhaktivedanta College, you were a student doing your master's course. And well, since you mentioned some anxiety that you may get some flack for this book, now I should ask, what has been the response?
I was pleasantly surprised, I will say. I thought that the reaction will be that it could be considered an unnecessary criticism. I thought that some leaders may not like it, but I have been very pleased that it was well received.
Mm-hmm.
The feedback I got has been favorable,
Mm-hmm.
and only the criticism I got is that one sannyasi kind of question why you didn't interview me or something. I say, next time you interview me.
That's funny. Okay. Yes, because correct me if I'm wrong, the sort of core, the center of this book is your interviews and the responses you got. In particular, my understanding, it seems, is there's a context to this book, which is that in previous years, there was quite an exodus of sannyasis from their vows in ISKCON, especially in the 1980s. And it seems to me your sort of driving question, at least for yourself in the book, was, why was this happening?
Mm-hmm. Yes, Maharaj, yes. Well, actually, yes, as in every, or in most of the books, there was an important autobiographical element in the study, because I thought I'm going to do my dissertation, so I should do it on a topic that will be useful for me as a person. At that time, I was a brahmachari in the sannyas waiting list. I think I took sannyas in 2009, and I think the book was published after that. So I did, part of the study was done as a brahmachari, and part of the study was done as a sannyasi.
Mm.
And the crucial question was that I saw that many devotees much more committed to Srila Prabhupada's missions than me, and very, very powerful, meaning in terms that they were pioneers in establishing the movement, for example, in Europe or in Russia and other places. They had given up their responsibilities as sannyasis. So I felt I need to learn from them and from other devotees who are sannyasis, what to do and what they went through, so that my journey as a sannyasi can be better. Otherwise, if I don't learn from them, and I think I'll do it better without consulting them, that
learning from their mistakes.
Yes, or their successes, both. So therefore, I interviewed sannyasis and ex-sannyasis, and then got feedback from both of them, both groups, I mean.
And it's been a while since I've read it, but as I remember, you brought forward, as a result of all these interviews, 10 specific reasons why sannyasis were giving up their sannyas vows. Is that right? Or were there more?
Yes, 10 factors, we call them, yes.
10 factors, yeah. Yes, and I was asked to facilitate what was it? The sannyas candidates Sanga in Mayapur 1 year. And it was soon after your book came out, and you managed to organize that we got copies of your book, and all the sannyas candidates got each one got a free copy of your book. That was so nice. And then we discussed much of the content in that course. So I think it's been a significant service that you did by that for our society.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you. I thought also when I wrote it, it was a combination of thinking of myself as a person, and also thinking of the movement, because I had seen, like, for example, I was initiated by a zonal acharya in the late 70s who gave up sannyas, and I saw the after effects, the effects that took place in the Spanish Yatra, quite devastating. And then later on in the 90s, we had another GBC who was also sannyasi who gave up, and also that had another impact 10 years after. So naturally there was, that concern was there that we should learn from our history so that we minimize as much as possible this to happen in other yatras.
Yes, learning from history so that history doesn't repeat itself. Yes, so Maharaj, I was thinking, since you've been so much involved in education, in facilitating education in ISKCON, it didn't stop with being principal of Bhaktivedanta College. I know you've been organizing and conducting so many Shastra courses, I guess mainly in Spain. I should mention, now I'm going a little back and forth, and up and down, but I just remembered, not so long ago, you visited Cuba.
Yes, I have been in Cuba, I think 3 times already.
Oh.
Yesterday, it's interesting, Maharaj, you're bringing up Cuba to the discussion, because yesterday I had a Zoom meeting with His Holiness Bhakti Swami, who is the GBC for Cuba, and His Holiness Guru Prasad Swami, who is now becoming a co-GBC for Cuba. And they were asking me to become zonal secretary for Cuba. I politely declined. I did say I'm willing to help, because we made some connections with devotees there, but didn't see in the middle of this pandemic to become zonal secretary for Cuba. I don't see how it fits with, I'm in Spain for 1 year, barely traveling. Even I had a ticket for going to Cuba in last March, and it's still pending for when I'll go again.
So do we have devotees in Cuba?
Yes, there are about 50 devotees or so approximately.
Wow.
Spread around the country. About half of them, or maybe even more, initiated devotees. People are very friendly. When they see a Hare Krishna monk on the street, they stop and they ask, who are you? What are you doing? Very nice, very nice.
So devotees can practice openly there. They can do public kirtan and so on.
Officially not, but when they have done it, the police didn't stop them. Like one day we went out to, one day we went out on Harinam to, what do you call this place? It's a, I know I forgot the name. Varadero. Varadero is a very touristic place in Cuba. So the people from the army, soldiers from the army, were policing the street. So we asked permission, can we sit in the park and chant some yoga mantras? These are some songs to invoke nice vibrations. We told them something like that, not too religious, like I'm more on the yoga line. And they said, yes, sure, you can do it. So we did it and there was no problem. So generally they don't harass the devotees, but the movement is not legally registered yet.
Right. Well, it's a good start. It sounds like very good. So I wanted to try to sort of, we say in English, pick your brain about education in ISKCON, especially formal education. You struggled for 12 years to encourage people to take up courses and programs in Bhaktivedanta College. You managed at some point to get Bhakti Shastri as part of the official curriculum for the course in theology and religious studies, which was in affiliation with University of Chester. And I think Shastra teaching is close to your heart, isn't it?
Yes, Maharaj, very much, yes. Yes, we started with Bhakti Shastri in Spain in the 90s, and then we were involved in the VTE initiative with Shaunaka Rishi Prabhu, Rasamandala Prabhu, and all the Oxford team, Anuradha Devi, and yeah, it was very nice. And yes, it is something I like to do, even like now during the pandemic, we were having Bhakti Shastri here in New Brajamandala, and we were combining the on-site Bhakti Shastri classes, broadcasting it online so that devotees from other countries, Spanish-speaking countries, could participate if they wished. It was a nice experience. We were doing reading of Srila Prabhupada's Bhakti Shastri books and then having the class exploration for each topic.
Can you say more or less how many devotees in Spain have completed Bhakti Shastri and completed everything and got the certificate, the degree?
Actually, not that many, but we have 29. And I happen to know that because recently I wrote to Bhaktarupa Prabhu because I needed that information for some. There is a proposal from my GBC representative, His Grace Hridai Chaitanya Prabhu, for that, and also coming from the Spanish National Council, that they start giving initiations, and for that they are asking different questions. So I needed that to present to the GBC committee who is studying the proposal. And actually only 29, we have much more in Bhaktivedanta College, many more took Bhakti Shastri, they are Bhakti Shastri graduates. I realized that this is so because here we have mainly taught Bhakti Shastri part-time, because I have been traveling and also I spent a number of years, a considerable number of years in Belgium. But it's 29 devotees.
Mm-hmm. I'm asking because just yesterday I was informed that since Bhakti Shastri has started being taught here in Poland 10 years ago, being taught in Polish language. However many have taken the course, not one of those have completed the course and taken the degree. Not one. There are some devotees here who have taken Bhakti Shastri from Mayapur, from Vrindavan, from maybe Radhadesh also. The estimate is there may be 10 or 12 devotees here who have done that, but not one who has taken here and completed. And I'm wondering why that is.
Well, one possibility, I can relate to it because in Spanish people and Polish people, they have some similarities. I mean, they are different, but there are some similarities in that, for example, they like to go and listen to the classes and participate. But when it comes to take the examination, they are not so fond of it. That was my impression. It happens in Spain. I have taught many Bhakti Shastri classes here.
Yeah.
And we have many who like to come to participate as listeners.
Yeah.
And they are really into it in the discussions, but when it comes to formally study and do the examination, they are hesitant to do it. And I'm also probably in Poland, most probably Bhaktivinoda Govinda Prabhu, who unfortunately passed away some years ago, started with, or was a key player in promoting Bhakti Shastri courses in Poland. And since Krishna took him from us, so he couldn't follow up and encourage devotees to finish. Here in Spain, I was kind of pushing in the back, okay, finish, and I'm a bit insistent. So that's sometimes necessary to have a person who kindly insisting devotees to complete their studies.
Someone who's pushing and pulling. Come on, you can do it, you can do it. Yeah, I was thinking of that, but I was also wondering what are the other what other reasons? There seems to be a lack of motivation. I mean, when you go to university, you know, you're investing a lot of time and energy and possibly also money, and you're doing it with a lot of motivation to finally conclude with a piece of paper that says, I did it. We don't seem to have that culture. Of course, it could be because we don't offer jobs, like people go to university to get a degree so they can get a job. When we complete the Bhakti Shastri degree, there's nothing like, okay, now what? Oh, you completed Bhakti Shastri, Jai. Yeah. So this maybe needs some thinking, how to bring more motivation for Shastra. I just always think about that letter that Srila Prabhupada wrote in 1969, I think. Some say, oh, that was 1969, so that was a long time. You know, he didn't really pursue it that much later. But he said, we'll have Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhava, Bhakti Vedanta. And maybe by 1975, or hopefully, or he said in a very positive way, by 1975, that would be 6 years after the program started, or even less. All my students will have Bhakti Vedanta and they can become guru.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So probably we need to connect more the Bhakti Shastri with the mission and with a way of making a living. Like, for example, actually it happens like other religious communities say, for example, some Christian organizations, people who study, they become priests, and they take care of their congregation, and they're maintained by the congregation. And that's established. Yeah. The pastor or the priest will be maintained by the congregation, and they will serve them by taking care of their spiritual needs. Yeah. So maybe we need that. Just a thought. I don't know what you think, Maharaj, about that.
Yes, I'm always remembering when I went back to university after finishing my undergraduate degree. Then I was admitted to Graduate Theological Union in Berkeley, California, USA. And this was called Graduate Theological Union because it was a consortium. It was a group of 9 seminaries. They were all Christian seminaries. Plus they had some sort of research centers affiliated. And many of those students were being trained to become ministers and priests in their denomination, whatever it was. It was many different seminaries from different Christian groups, both Catholic and Protestant. But many of them, not all, but many were training to become qualified as ministers and priests. And many of them were pursuing a degree called Master of Divinity. And in order to be qualified in their own institution, they needed to have this degree. And then if they had the degree, then they could practice. They could be, something like being you get a medical degree, then you're a practicing physician. So it was interesting to see, and they were, very focused. They were getting very good training. I could see that. All kinds of training in theology. They were getting training in giving sermons. They had specialists in all these different fields. So something like that seems to be needed. And we've talked about this in the Bhaktivedanta College. The original idea in Bhaktivedanta College was to train ministers. that was the idea.
Yes, and one of the challenges we found at the college was concerned with placement of the students when they graduate within ISKCON. And that was one of our challenges.
Yeah.
So, and therefore we didn't get more students. Like, say, for example, if for a devotee to become a temple president or to have a position of leadership in ISKCON, we'll need a Bhakti Shastri diploma or a college degree, Vaishnava theology and religious studies degree. Then naturally there will be more students inclined to do it. So I don't know if we need to do a campaign to convince who the DVC body or whoever decides to make Bhakti Shastri a requirement for more things within ISKCON.
I suppose that will come in course of time. Now the main qualification to be anything is that one shows a little bit of material qualification for the job. So now you are doing Bhakti Shastri course in New Vraja Mandala, and is Bhakti Vaibhava going on at all in Spain or Spanish language?
We have a small group of devotees who is studying Bhakti Vaibhava, but also it has kind of, the group was only 5 devotees, so I was tutoring them and giving classes part-time. And one of the challenges of teaching these long courses part-time, maybe now with online Zoom resources may be different, but in the past has been that sometimes devotees change their place of residence. So from the group of 5, I ended up having two committed students who are in the 5th canto now. But also one of them is half of the time he's living elsewhere. So it becomes difficult. We have to match the schedule, their schedule and my schedule. I think we're going to end online because otherwise we won't finish it. So a very small group. We did offer the 1st and 2nd canto. We call it a Pada Padma course, like the first part of the Bhakti Vaibhava in Barcelona. 2-3 years ago, we ended. But most of the devotees who participated, they were interested only in the Sanga, but not in the examination and the title, like the Polish devotee.
The same story. Speaking of Barcelona, is your brother still there? Is he still the president of the temple?
He is not the president anymore. He is for the last, but he was president. I think he did his quota. He was there 25-year plus president.
Wow. Yeah.
He's from Barcelona.
His name again, Godruma?
Gundicha.
Gundicha, oh yeah. So for everyone else here, Yadunandan Swami has younger brother, isn't it?
His elder brother.
Oh, he's the elder brother. Okay, and they're both Vaishnavas. Very nice.
He joined ISKCON after, but he's the elder brother. Actually, my father gave an argument when he was going to join the temple. Was trying to convince him how come you are going to follow your younger brother.
Anyway, back to these Shastra courses, I just wanted to mention, just this last week, I was teaching the one portion of the Bhakti-Vedanta course organized by the Mayapur Institute of Higher Education. There are about 20 students, and we had a 2.5-hour session each day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And it went very well, I would say. Everyone was steady in attending. I think they were all there each day. So the point being that to do these courses online may indeed be the solution.
Yeah, yes, I think so. Yes, Maharaj. We are going to start here in Spain to offer courses online in Spanish language. And we decided for this year we will start a Bhakti Shastri program via Zoom, because I also taught for the Mayapur Institute, a section of the 7th canto, and I saw how it worked, and I was very happy how it went. So I thought I can do that with Bhakti Shastri in Spanish.
Yeah, very good. Now, I want to ask the devotees here if any of you have a question for His Holiness Yadunandan Swami. And I'm thinking particularly, I don't want to put anyone on the spot, but I'm thinking especially those of you who have not done Bhakti Shastri yet, to ask Maharaj to give you some inspiration for doing it. But you need to individually ask him. So I'm looking for the first volunteer to confess that I haven't completed Bhakti Shastri yet. Oh, here comes Kaveri. Okay.
Hare Krishna, Yadunandan.
Hare Krishna. And you speak Spanish, so you can do it with us. You can be our first student.
My main impediment, I've been longing to do this, and I'm very, very ashamed actually, because my main impediment is that I never been able to stay in one place for long to do a seminar, a course, or anything. But I'm very encouraged by you saying that it will be also in Spanish, which I hold very dear. I feel I can express better myself in Spanish. So I that already kind of like made it. I would like to know, where can I find out when this is going to be launched in Spanish, the online Bhakti Shastri?
I can write in the chat. I can write my email address, and you can email me, and I'll put you in touch with the person who will run the registration for the course. And I think we will do it. We will start in March. This is what we're targeting for.
Okay, thank you so very much. You're already an inspiration.
Oh, very good.
So
Anyone else?
Yes. Start. We recruited one for Bhakti Shastri.
Yes, we recruited one Bhakti Shastri student. Jai. Now, for the others, don't feel that the qualification is that you speak Spanish. We're talking generally now. There are other Bhakti Shastri programs. But maybe you just need a little friendly nudge from Yadunandan Maharaj, who's been teaching Bhakti Shastri. How many years since you started teaching it, Maharaj?
That was in I became a Bhakti Shastri grader in '94. So since that time, we started, we organized a course. I don't have the records because in those years, we didn't use computers like now.
Yeah.
The files and security copies.
Yeah.
But I know it was in the mid-90s when we did the first.
Yeah, so something like 25 years in any case, huh? That's quite something. Okay, everyone else is being a little shy, I guess. We do have some questions on the chat I should bring up. Dear Lalita, what is the main reason, in your own opinion, for devotees leaving ISKCON, and how can we all help in preventing this?
What comes to mind and to heart is the lack of personal care. I think that's the main thing, because we have a very profound philosophy, but people don't live only from philosophy. People need also personal care and friends. I remember I heard from His Holiness Advaita Maharaj, he mentioned people need friends. So it's very important, this aspect, to have devotee friends.
Yeah. Yeah, as simple as that. Certainly that's a major consideration. Maybe more generally, we want to say that we all need nourishment, and the nourishment is of various kinds. Spiritual nourishment, but also social nourishment. Actually, Bhaktivinoda Thakura says that. Psychological, social, all these needs are there. And if something's not being fulfilled, then naturally people go looking for it somewhere else. Anyway, it's that's a big topic. Do you want to add something?
Yes, only one thing I'd like to share.
Yes.
Which may be relevant to the question and to what you mentioned, Maharaj. Here in New Brajamandala, we wrote, or we're in the process of finalizing vision, mission statement for the project. And one of the key words is sustainability, which is very much valued in the contemporary world in different settings. And we identified 4 areas of sustainability, which could apply also not just to the community, but to individuals, to ISKCON members. One is spiritual sustainability. Another is social and cultural sustainability. Another is financial, very important also. How do I make a living, and in a way which is compatible with Krishna consciousness? And because here it is a farm, environmental, related to ecological principles and so on.
Yes, that's very nice. So applying in individual and collective dimensions. That's very good. Yeah, sustainability is kind of a buzzword nowadays, as the world goes on trashing the planet, making everything as unsustainable as possible. We're all after sustainability. That's good. There is also a question from Usha. Do you want to explain your question, Usha Mataji?
My obeisances, Guru
Hare
Maharaj.
Krishna.
Likewise, nice to see you.
Nice to see you, Maharaji.
We met in the school in Krishnavanti.
That's right. That's
yes,
right, Maharaji. Yes, yes. Guruji, Maharaji Pranam and obeisances to you. Maharaji, my question was, do we have a basic expectation of some study of our scriptures for those who are who have aspirations to be initiated, or is it kind of purely voluntary as to what one acquires in terms of the Shastra knowledge in readiness for initiation? Is there a mandatory curriculum of some sort that is a basic expectation that we would inform ourselves and read and in terms of our spiritual guidance?
What ISKCON has for as mandatory for devotees who wish to take first initiation is the ISKCON disciple course. It's a very simple curriculum, actually. It's a simple course, but that's mandatory. And for second initiation in Europe, actually Bhakti Shastri is compulsory. I don't know how strictly the temple presidents are applying that, but it is compulsory in Europe. Many times also spiritual masters ask their disciples to complete certain courses. But for first initiation, the only mandatory course is the ISKCON disciple course.
And I might add that that is additional to the very minimal requirements that Srila Prabhupada gave for initiation, which was simply to chant Hare Krishna mantra 16 rounds per day and follow 4 regulative principles. He made no other specifications than that. And also for second initiation, the Brahmin initiation, he made no further restrictions. The qualification was that one should have already been initiated, first initiation, I think it was 1 year before. Maybe it was 6 months at one time. Anyway, it became 1 year. And this is something which we came to consider in our Shastra Advisory Council discussion about second initiation. And it's in the paper that we're about to present, that actually we have to be careful about this. Are we instituting things which are sort of going beyond what our founder Acharya gave us? And at the same time, we want to encourage devotees to become more qualified in so many ways. So what is actually minimal for the society as a whole, and how much choice, how much freedom is there for an individual guru to make particular prerequisites? That's all part of the discussion. Our society is still very much in the beginning stages, I would say. We're still, first, second generation, third generation starting. Yes. Gokulananda Hari says he's doing Bhakti Shastri only by my order. He's blaming me. He says, otherwise I wouldn't be doing it. in order to be qualified for second initiation, I said he should do it. Oh dear, I'm being put on the spot here.
That should be more than enough motivation to do it. No? If the Guru, God's representative, God is speaking to you, tells you, you do Bhakti Shastri, and just do it.
Just do it. Yeah. Well, I am trying to encourage all shishyas to do Bhakti Shastri, not for some, if you do this, then you get that, but simply because it's good for understanding, for becoming more, as Prabhupada would say, more fixed in our understanding, in our theology, in what Krishna is teaching and what we represent. If we don't know what Krishna is telling us, how can we be peaceful?
I have one idea, Maharaj. I have one idea. We should make a t-shirt.
Please.
We should make a t-shirt, Bhakti Shastri course, and then write, just do it, and have it in many different languages.
Oh, that's an idea. Maybe you should suggest that to Atul Krishna Prabhu.
Okay.
He's running the standards, whatever it's called, that committee, right?
Board of Examiners. I'm a member of that board.
Okay, so, well, you're on the board, then it's a done deal.
I'll mention it. Yes.
Very good. Okay. Well, Maharaj, I want to thank you for taking the time to be with us and share with us and inspire us. We always end at this time. I like to keep the time because that's part of being regulated, we may say. So yeah, thank you so much. And sometime we may pester you again.
Thank you very much, Maharaj, for inviting me to this wonderful Sanga. And thank you to all the devotees present. Many devotees.
Yes, we're a good crowd from few different countries, including Argentina. We have Mexico. We have Russia. We have different countries in Europe, America,
Spain.
Tirtharaj in Spain. Yes. So actually, it's nice. We can come together. I started doing this once every Saturday when the lockdown started back in whatever it was, April, I guess. So yeah, it's good. Okay, so I will say thank you all. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava ki jai. Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bo.
Hari Hari Bo.
Have a wonderful week. Chant and be happy. And think about how to do Bhakti Shastri. Okay, Maharaj. Thank you.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj. Thank you.